So hey guys, this is just a quick little lesson in XLOOKUP. So if you know XLOOKUP, you don't really need Vlookup or HLOOKUP. And the reason for that is that XLOOKUP is really the modern version of both of those. You can learn them both if you want, but it's not really necessary. The way I like to do XLOOKUP is first by typing an equal sign XL, right? Predictive text tells me that I want to do an XLOOKUP, so then I could either type it out, XLOOKUP, open parentheses, or just hit tab and it types it out for you. The first thing it's looking for is the lookup value. What are we looking up? We want the price of eggs. So our lookup value is over here, eggs. So to get that B6 going, you just hit the left arrow once. And if you do formulas like I do, you just type a comma and then hit the arrow over again a couple times until you get to your list. Now I already know there's nothing below here, right? From here all the way down to 1 million, whatever that cell is, right? So if I know there's nothing above or below this, I can select the entire column, and that's my lookup array. If I type another comma, I can use the arrows again to go over to prices. Again, I'm going to select the entire column. If I do anything different, it's going to give me a value error. So we want to make sure that that's the same. I'm selecting the whole column with Control Spacebar. And the rest of these are optional. You don't have to type the rest of the arguments. If you wanted to, if not found, you'd put not found, or price not found, whatever. Match mode can be either an exact match or an approximate match, and search mode can go either up down or down up. But since we're learning the beginner's version, I'm just going to hit enter. And I'm going to copy this formula all the way down. If I press F2, you can see what it's involved in the formula. This is looking up the price of cheese in this list. As long as there's one instance of cheese, it's going to return the correct price. If there's more than one, let's say cheese down here is $5.99, there's been a typo. It still gives us a $4.99 unless you change that argument. So if not found, we don't even have to do anything, just hit comma again. As you can see here, it's putting in bold what argument we're on. So match mode, exact match by default, and then search first to last is 1 or default, and then -1 is last to first. And that's how I get the last lookup in the list for cheese. Now let's say we have something above here that says apples on sale. If we do our XLOOKUP, and let's say we had apples in here, it gives us the first instance down, right? Now you might want to say, hey, let's just fix it by putting the -1 argument in there. I say, no, that's not really the clean way to do it, and change this to cheese. So it makes more sense for my example. So instead what I have to do is what's called a referential cell assignment. Maybe it's called that. Maybe I just made it up. So over here, if I make a box, and again, I'm holding down Control Shift and down arrow. If you want those sweet shortcuts, check out my first Start Here video. And then I'll hit another comma and go over here to prices. And again, if they're not the same size, what do you get? A value error. So let's make them the same size and hit enter. We have an NA. Why do we have an NA? It's because the formula slides down if you don't lock the cells. How do you lock the cells? The $sign, right? In order to get the $signs, the easiest way is to highlight your array and hit F4 once. Type a comma, Go over to your return array. Don't forget to lock that too, or one will slide down and one will not. And as you can see there, these cells have been locked. It doesn't make sense to lock the first argument because let's say we lock eggs. What do you think is going to happen? Bonus points if you can guess. That's right. It locked eggs. It didn't slide down with our reference here when we copied the formula down. Now let's say we have a situation where these are transposed. So now we have items in the first row here, prices in the second row. We can still use XLOOKUP. And all you do is change it from a vertical array to a horizontal array. And look at that, you got the same result. So let's try this funky example. Let's say we have items, we want prices and discount prices, right? So we can do XLOOKUP, choose eggs, go over here, get our lookup array, lock it, go over here, select both of these. Look at that. It just returned both arrays. This is a little something new with newer versions of Excel where it puts an array here. So if you type anything else, you get a spill error. I like to think of this as the ghost cell. If you look up here, you could see that this is slightly not as bright as that. It's like in a gray. And the reason for that is it's saying that this is part of this formula, but there's an overlap there, so that's what spill means. So I hope you like this quick overview of XLOOKUP. Let me know in the comments how you liked it. You can download this practice sheet from my Stan store for free.